It's Sunday, July 12th, 2020. This is All About Your Benjamins and your weekly mixtape and weekend review video. I hope you had a great week. Just a handful of headlines to get through today, so let's get through those quickly. So let's take a look at what may or may not be impacting your financial plan and portfolio, and we'll start off with just a quick coronavirus update. Don't need to spend much time there because there's plenty of this coverage going on. I'm sure you're aware, but just wanted to point out one area and a little commentary with that. So the cases continue to tick up. Over 60,000 a day for 3 days in a row earlier this week. I honestly haven't been following it the last couple of days, so I don't know where it's at now. But what I wanted to show is in that Wall Street Journal article, it also shows that we're beginning to see the deaths from COVID begin to tick up. So right now, there's a pretty big separation between the number of new cases going up and deaths that's kind of stayed down here. And we're starting to see it tick up. Will that trend continue? No one knows. But I just bring that up as we extend through summer, which was hopefully going to be the period of time where this burned off, and we're not seeing that. Does bring a little bit of cause for concern. Here in Indiana, we got the instruction on what's going to happen for the school year, at least for our kids at the school corporation that they go to. School's going to start on time, but then wear masks all day long, which would be interesting to see how that goes down, especially for the younger kids. But it'll be interesting to see how the rest of the summer plays out and how that leads into the fall and what changes there may be. So the cases are going back up. We're starting to see deaths tick back up. So we'll see what that means. Does that lead to more reversals on the openings of cities and restrictions coming into play? We'll have to see. And then obviously there's the impact to the economy that spills out from that as well. So hopefully this is a momentary thing and things begin to level back out, but we'll have to continue to watch. And obviously there's lots of implications, which we've seen over the last few months, so we don't need to rehash those right now. Unemployment, last week's video we talked about going down, ticked down again this week. I think it's down to 1.3 million claimed for unemployment. Let me double check that number real quick so I don't give you bad numbers. Initial unemployment fell by 99,000 to 1.3 million for the week ending July 4th. So that's our statistic. They want to make sure I didn't have that wrong. So we're seeing those numbers tick back down. Still a long way to go. Cause for concern is we're going to see unemployment benefits, the extra benefit run out here this month. We're also seeing firms that receive the PPP loan, the payroll protection plan loan, those funds beginning to run out and business is not back to normal. So the hope was that these loans would bridge this gap till we got back to normalcy or closer to normalcy, but not every business is seeing normalcy yet. So we'll have to see, are they going to let people off that they kept on, or what's that going to do when it comes to unemployment? Another theory that's out there, and I'll just throw it out there for a discussion point, is some people think that we may see the employment numbers get better as that unemployment benefit drops off. So there are a lot of people who are making more money staying at home, not working, and then when that extra $600 drops off, that may be the incentive for them to go back to work. I'm sure there are people who stayed more comfortable staying at home, collecting that extra benefit, but I would like to think that most of us want to go to work, that we're not staying at home because it's easier, but I could be wrong. So there's that theory that's out there as well. Don't want to try to say it's all a bad thing that it goes away. Maybe it does help unemployment. But I've just got to imagine that with the cases ticking back up and states looking at taking back the openings that they've done, that may not be a good thing for business. So we'll have to wait and see. Tax week. So April 15th is our usual tax day. It got extended to July 15th, which is this week. So do not forget to file your taxes on the 15th, the latest. Get that out there, get the payment in there. There's an article from the Wall Street Journal that says even if you can't pay, make sure you file your taxes. Lays out a very good argument, mainly saying that the penalty for not paying is less than letting it continue to go and not filing. So go ahead and file. Pay if you can, but if you can't, still go ahead and file because you'll minimize the damage that you do to your credit and other things. There's payment plans that can work out. I know that it's not necessarily the best time for everybody to have these tax liabilities. Hopefully you're not in that situation, but don't forget to file and pay taxes this week. Change of pace, still tying to investing, but there's an app out there, Robinhood. Some of you may be familiar with it. It's a stock trading app, and it's been in the news over the last few months, especially with everybody working from home. We've seen an uptick in day traders, people buying and selling actively. There's no sports to bet on, there's no sports to watch, can't go anywhere. Here's this app where you can buy and sell stock for free, and you've seen the numbers tick up. The only reason I bring that up is you may have loved ones or friends that have gotten into this, and just warn them to be careful, not to scare them. I am all for people taking some of their own money, experimenting, learning, having some skin in the game, and taking some ownership of their finances. But you're seeing situations where people are because of lack of knowledge and just having exposure to this for the first time without any education, getting themselves into big trouble. And I'm sure those are fewer stories that are along that line. There was an 18-year-old that committed suicide earlier this year after he saw his Robinhood balance over $700,000 negative. And it wasn't really that full balance, but he didn't know. And when trains would have settled, it would have been much less, but he thought that he owed $700,000, panicked, and ultimately killed himself. They talk about that story in the Times article. Talk about an individual who took credit card debt to go fund the account and then took home equity lines as well. So just habits like that we don't want to see, and it's only because of thinking that we can make money very quickly trading stocks. We're seeing articles about it. We're seeing it on TikTok and the other social media platforms. Just if you have someone, warn them to be careful, talk to them about the risks, but don't necessarily tell them not to do it. Just do it with caution. And the final one, a little bit of, I guess it is exciting news, but a little bit of returning to normalcy. Disney World opened back up, 2 of their parks, limited people coming in there. Everybody's wearing a mask. I've seen pictures of it. It looks kind of eerie to see Disney World so bare. If you're there now, it might be pretty nice. There's not very many long lines. But I just think part of the Disney experience is all the craziness of all the people watching all those things as well. But they're slowly tipping back in to see how they can move forward. So a little bit of positivity. If you're a big Disney fan, at least Disney World is coming back online for now in Florida, in a state that's ticking up. So we'll see what that does to the attendance as well, or if they can maintain this. So a little bit of returning to normalcy to end this week's mixtape. So that is it for this week. Make sure to check out the mixtape below. A lot of great articles. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. As I let you know last week, Thomas and I are going to be putting out a lot more content on the RLS Wealth YouTube channel, so you want to make sure you subscribe to that, and subscribe to the blog as well so you keep up to date with everything. So thanks for watching. Have a great week, and we will see you all in the next episode.